In this video, I'll show you step by step how I edit my event photographs in Lightroom. Let's go. All right, welcome everybody to the channel. My name is Timmy Turner. I'm coming to you from Genesis Studio. Like I said in the intro, I'll be showing you guys how I edit images I take during my event. And these events can range from anything like a baby shower, birthdays, even the club. They all are in the same category of events. Weddings might be slightly different, but generally every other event just, they are under the same umbrella. And I do pretty much the same edit, which happen in Lightroom, unless requested by the client that they want retouching. That's when I go into Photoshop. So that's basically what I'm about to show you guys here. So your first step is to import the files in Lightroom. I already did that. As you can see, we have about let's see how many photos we have. So this was a 3-hour event. I have 433 photos. So I always overshoot, always. Like, it's a bad habit of mine where I shoot way more than I need to. Why I do that is to have a backup, because sometimes you think you have the shot, but you get in the edit, you find out that shot is out of focus, and then it's the celebrant with her mom, and you took that shot one time, thought you had the shot, you get in the Lightroom, you see the shot is out of focus. So I always recommend, if you can, take 2 shots. So take a shot, take it again. You can make that closer, make that wider, but just take a different variety of that shot. And in edit, you can always just delete one or even leave both in there depending on how you're feeling. But I always shoot more than I need to, because my first step when I get into Lightroom is just cycle through all the photos before I even start editing. I go from the top and I just clean it up. I go through and I just delete pictures and then delete duplicates. Up better, it's more personal. That's pretty. Oh, I took this one. So like this, boom. You see this shot right here? This is a bad example. So you can see I took just one of that picture. I could have taken this again to get a better shot, and I did not. And now we left this one shot that I do not like. So if you can take another shot of whatever of your subject, always take 2 shots. It doesn't, it just takes more space and more work to remove them, but in the end, it's kind of worth it. That's just my personal opinion. So after going through the shots, you make sure you take out the ones that are repeated, take out the shots that are bad, take out the ones that are out of focus, just filter it and make sure you have just the best shots in there. What I usually do is find one shot that I think expresses the colors or the look of the whole event. So for example, I selected this shot as my edit, and if you zoom in, we can see it's grainy. It's a little overexposed on the chest. The highlights are blown out. The shadows are pretty good. We can always get those back. So first thing I do, I can just drop the exposure a little bit. We see have some highlights. If we drop down the highlight all the way, now we have detail back in those highlights. I usually boost my shadows up a little bit and then crush my blacks. This gives me the best contrast in my shot. I can also bump the actual contrast up a little bit, also still keeping that contrast in there. And then I usually play around my clarity. Sometimes I never take it higher than, if I have to take it higher, I never take it higher than 5. I do that for more edgy shots, but this is not an edgy, for more edgy events. This is a very sweet, subtle event. So I will actually reduce the clarity to make it a little to give that little glowy feel on my photos. Then I want to go into my detail tab and zoom in into a subject. I usually sharpen between 60 and 70. I just find what works best for me right now. Probably too much, 65, and then drop the detail a little bit to reduce some of that grain. As you can see, if I drop that down, yeah, we have a little more grain. The trick though, to get this as smooth as you can, is noise reduction. All you have to do is just take your noise reduction slider and take it up, right? As you can see, do you see that? As you can see, we've made a significant change to our image already just from the noise reduction. I usually do between 25 and 30. If an image has a lot of grain like this, I usually do 30 just to make sure I remove as much grain as possible. And then under noise reduction, there's a tab called color. I usually take this up to 50 or even more at least. What this does is blend color. So if you have colors in the shot and they're separated, like if you can see them sometimes in your skin tone, we don't have that in this shot, or I'm not seeing it right now, but sometimes it might be hidden in like a jacket or something in the shot and you don't even know. I always make sure I bump that color tab at least past 50. What it does is just blends all the colors together and makes sure everything looks very seamless and there's no distinct colors sticking out from my shot. So play around with it, the noise reduction, the color tab, and see what it does to your image, and then you can use them effectively. Right now I'm liking what we have. If I go into my transform, I usually sometimes do auto transform. As you can see, just straighten out the shot. So what I don't want to do is use to every shot, but for this shot like this, I like it because it straightens out. Also, lens correction. In the profile, I already select remove chromatic aberrations, obviously, just to remove if you know what chromatic aberrations are. Let's zoom in right here. This is exactly what chromatic aberrations are. See that purple line, that purple fringe? If I click on remove chromatic aberrations, it should take it out, right? So we don't have that purple fringe around our highlights anymore. Enable color correction. Yeah, I want to enable that. I like how it stretches out a little bit. Yeah, I like that. And I probably want to bring back some vignetting, because I always like vignetting in my shot. It helps you center. It helps you pull focus to the person in the middle. I'll probably go ahead a little more vignette. You can do it on the effects tab. Not too much, just like -11. So if we click before, after, so as you can see, that's significant difference in our shot. Lastly, I want to go to my color HSL tab, or the color tab, and just pull my oranges towards the red side a little more, just to make it look more realistic. Yeah, I really like that. So this is what my edit looks like. So this picture is pretty much done for events, right? This is a perfectly edited photo. So what I do now is I copy this, so I have it, right? And now I have a preset that I'm just gonna apply across the board on all the images. So I just copy that, or I can just shift hold and just let's go to the library tab. I can just shift hold and just copy this across all the images. Now what I do, I watch out for if there is a huge change between the image I have and a particular set of images. Like as you can see here, there's a change between the way this images are lit and how these ones are lit. So I think there was a change in the lighting on my flash. So these ones are a little darker than that one. So what I do is I just stop at the top. I might just do one of those shots, right, to give a copy of the edits to that shot, then tweak that edit, make sure it's good and matches the other ones, and then copy it across the board. So I kind of work in batches depending on how it's lit. If everything is lit evenly and they all look the same, I just copy that one edit over the whole thing. But in this scenario where we have images lit in a particular way and some in a different way, I'll edit that batch of images that look the same as one, and then go to another batch and edit those at one, still using the base edit, if you understand me. So I still use the edit I used on that first image, but just tweak for the other batch of pictures, just to keep the same look, the same color, and the same theme going on. Okay, so once everything is selected, you want to hit sync, and it's going to paste that edit or preset, technically paste that preset across the board. And now we can, if you start scrolling, you can see that I don't like that shot actually. Yeah, that's a better shot. We can see that this edit has been applied to all the shots. So now I can go in and see before is already edited, before, after. We can see the transform also applied on here, and that might be the only thing I don't want, because sometimes I don't always want the transform to do its thing, because I like some shots to be off and not completely straight depending on what the shot looks like. But for here, this is perfect because you just follow that line. This is before, this is after. I love that. So now after your effect has been copied to whatever batch of photos, or even if it's all the photos, now you just repeat what you did first, and this time what you're doing is just deleting the bad shot. You're actually tweaking every image. So you're going from image to image and just change a little settings. You might have to boost the exposure, adjust the highlights, adjust the clarity, adjust a thing here and there to make sure it matches the whole entire set. So that's what we're doing here. And sometimes cropping happens because you want to bring focus to whatever is the focus in the shot, because that shot had a lot of things that didn't care about what was happening in the moment, so you can just crop that out. The crop tool is really your best friend, especially for events. You just wanna cut out unnecessary things. It's like one of the best things ever. It's very important. That's one skill an event photographer has to learn in editing. Be able to crop out um, unnecessary information. There's a lot of information, especially when you shoot in landscape. If you shoot all your images in landscape, you're gonna capture a lot of things that don't have anything to do with the shot. You need to be able to crop those things out, or like this, in this case, center your image, center your subject when they're not centered. So yeah, what I'm doing right here is adjusting my angle. So from the original shot, I saw they're not as straight as I want them to. So what I can do is just come to your crop tool on the angle. You can just slide that to the left or right to edit your shot to make it however you want it. Now what I'm going to do is just copy this again like we did earlier, and we stopped here, right? We already done, but let me just show you to you guys. You stop right there. So when you sync, it brings up this box, right? These are the settings that has been applied to the first image or whatever image you're trying to copy from to the other images. Now we have the treatment, profile, basic, the tone, curve, HSL, color grading, detail, lens correction, transform, effect, healing, crop, calibration. We didn't do any healing or crop, but we did the transform. If this didn't already have transform on it, you can, or any effect, you can always uncheck it so it doesn't copy that effect over. But right now I have transform off, so that's what I want to copy over. So I'm gonna leave it checked and then sync. So all of this now should not have the transforms. If I go here and I hit develop, you can see how it says off. So if I want it to actually work, then I can click auto or upright or whatever I want to click. So yeah, I want this shot to be a little brighter. Let's pop that out a little bit. Same with this. Let's bring up the exposure a tad bit. So far it's been 43 minutes since I started editing. Just for anybody wondering how long this is taking me, this has been 43, and that includes like me recording this also, just so you know. But I know if you're new to this, it might take you a little longer. Don't rush it. Just take your time, make sure you get exactly what you want and deliver the right thing to your client. You don't want to not give them the best. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of my work in for events when I edit is done in Lightroom. I edit in Photoshop only if requested by the client that I want so images retouched, and that's when, because this is basic editing, but working in Photoshop is retouching. That's extra. So this doesn't come with the event price package, and if you're a photographer, let your clients know that. Separate, especially for event. For regular photo shoots in the studio, for sure they're all going to be retouched. Not all of them, but they're going to get retouched photos. But for event photography, the photos are not retouched unless you want them to be, and that's going to be extra. So just a tip for photographers out there. Here, I like this shot, but I think it's too wide. I'm gonna crop it for IG, which is a 4:5. I think that's a way better shot than how it looked before. People, what do you call people having the baby shower? They call celebrants? They'll celebrate for like birthday and stuff. I don't know what to call them, but I'll just say mom, because she's the mom. The name of the mom is Curler. Ooh, I don't like that. Like, that's a lot of orange. Just pull that back a little bit. That's better. By the way, this images were shot on the Canon EOS R with the 24-105 f4 lens. That's my go-to camera for everything right now. 24-105 is a beautiful range. You almost can't miss a shot. The only downside to that camera is the f4. I wish it was f2.8. I know if it was f2.8, it probably cost me my liver, but I wish it was f2.8. But f4 is not terrible. So this is Get Box, is a photographer. f4 is not terrible. It's just, sometimes you need more light. A quick tip: you're working in Lightroom and you're wondering what settings you shot your image on. Like this, I'm wondering because I see a lot of grain and I really don't like the fact that it's so much grain in the shot. So all you have to do is click I, and if you look on the left, it will give you information about the photo. So if you keep clicking it, I think the first one, it gives you the date and time and the dimension of the photo. Then if you click it again, it'll tell you the actual settings that you used when you took that shot. So I shot at 1/100, f4, ISO 64,000. So I think that's what the problem is with this shot. The ISO is way too high, and that's why I introduce a lot of grain. But it's fine. We can always recover a lot of details from the shot even with the grain. I can just push. I can push my nose projection just past this limit, just a little bit. I don't want to look too mushy, because if you go way too high like this, it gets too mushy and too fake. I don't want that. I still want that grain. The grain is what gives it the sharpness. So how about 40? Right? Yeah, like that. It should, yeah, I should be fine. Okay, I like that. Now, just how we did before, we're gonna copy over that. I think about the rest of the images look like that. So just copy that, shift to the bottom, to the end, and hit sync settings. Then you synchronize, and this should all have the same look to it. Okay, I hope this is helping somebody. If you have questions about this process or what I'm doing or how this is going, just you can put it in the comment section, or just message me on IG at Temmy_photo, and I'll be there we go. I'll be completely fine to answer your questions. Yeah. That pretty much wraps up this edit, and that took me about an hour and 30 minutes total. And what I do now is just select all the pictures. So from the first, just hold shift and use your arrow key to scroll all the way down. So we are left with 264 pictures. Once you have all your images selected, you right click, go down to where it says export, then you click export from the tab that pops up, and now you have the export dialog box, and you select wherever folder you want this file to export to. You usually just export to my hard drive, then you rename it. This is curler baby shower pictures. Okay, you see curler baby shower pictures. Now I scroll down to where it says watermark. So for all my events, I always make sure I have my watermark on there, and then I did watermark. So now with the watermark, the only thing that I don't like about watermark here, you only have just a couple options. You can put it on the left, right, at the bottom, at the center, so you basically have this 9 options where you want to place it. So I usually just leave it at the bottom of my image. I think that's fair enough. Sometimes I put it on the left corner. It all depends on how I'm feeling. I think I actually like it on the left side right here for this event, because for the left shot, most of it is black, and it show that white, my white watermark. So I just move my watermark to the left to make sure it's very visible, and then I update this, and that's done. I hit done, and then I hit export. So I'm done. And that wraps up my editing process for event. Again, it's pretty straightforward, and once you have a specific method you follow, like I do, it becomes very easy. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video or content related to photography, videography, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the post notification so you don't miss out on any other videos. I have other links to videos on how you edit in Photoshop. You can just click in the boxes next to the screen right here. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.